What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We just had Dash Daniels versus Kareem Lopez in the NBL. It's almost 1 a.m. my time, but this game just finished off, and Dash was really impressive. In 20 minutes, he had 14 points on 10 shots, 5 boards, couple steals, an assist, and I wanted to break down what he did because I think there's been a lot of kind of unfair discourse around Dash, but I'm going to get into this game he had against the Breakers. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're hyped for the 2026 draft cycle to begin. And Dash's activity and range and motor as an off-ball defender is crazy for a 17-year-old playing in a pro league. He is so active early going down to protect the rim. And he has the crazy speed and mobility and change of direction to recover out and get a hand on. So he is able to play these aggressive low coverages and cover basically 2 defenders at once because of his closeout and recovery speed. And he has great size and length for a guard defender as well. He had a really nice steal right here, just peeling down, reading this pass, heading to the interior right. He's kind of got good position, sealing Dash off, but Daniels does a great job getting his hand in. He's going to end up turning the ball over there, unfortunately. Just tried to do a bit much there as a handle, and his screen navigation is pretty good as well. You will see plays where he kind of gets wedged off because of his strength, but he will stick to players like glue, not give them anything, and he's really good at executing switches when he needs to. And I love how people already are not testing Dash. This taller player just wants to give it right back to his teammate to attack the mismatch. He has no desire to go at Dash Daniels, and he's going to end up getting the rebound. I love Dash's ability to pick up full court. That's something we see obviously a lot in the NBA today, and I think that's going to help him translate and fit in well. He's picking up full court. He's used to that. He gets around the screen. Does a great job contesting that step back. So he was really impressive on defense in this game. Definitely, even in a game where I thought he was all right on offense by his standards, he was really solid. But just defensively, he is such an impressive player. And he had some moments in his first game. He only played 8 minutes in his first game of this season. But even then, you could see the great ability to cut players off at the point of attack, even though this is a really tough shot right here by his opponent. But he only played, like I said, I think 8 minutes in that game. And this was his first game of real actual action. His defense was excellent as usual, but his offense was better than usual. And he's looking pretty confident as a driver and a handler early this season. I love this bump floater right here. Dash is pretty quick, and he's good at using his contact and physicality. I love that. I think once he adds more strength, he's going to be a pretty effective strength creator because he's good at playing off of 2 feet. He has a nice touch on these little floaters, and this was a nice drive from that first game as well, where he's going to keep his handle alive on the baseline before kicking it out and resetting the offense. I'm kind of surprised that his handle is even this functional based on what we saw at the U17 or at the U19 World Cup. But again, he was playing multiple age groups up, and like I've said before, that context is often misleading in a lot of ways. So good to see Dash kind of find his footing early on offense. Shout out Kareem Lopez, who had a great game in this one as well. But beautiful little finish and early offense from Dash. And you can again see his touch working for him. Nice in and out. I do wish he could kind of sell this a little bit harder. Maybe plant his foot more explosively out to the left right there. But great wrong foot jumping off the right foot, flicking that in with the right hand. Beautiful finish right there from Dash. And even though I think defenders are going to be able to sag off and back away from Dash, and he doesn't get the shot to fall right here, he's definitely not a shooter at this point. Defenders can just back up and give him space. He is fast, and he's good at getting leverage and just bumping players and generating space that way. So he can get to his sweet spots and get to shots that he likes. And I think he's a pretty solid, fine passer at this point. He can hit basic pick and roll reads over top. I think sometimes he'll be a little bit raw with his deliveries, where he probably shouldn't just lob this way up in traffic if he's going to try that pass. Probably not an amazing decision anyways at that point. But nothing crazy in terms of terrible turnovers and decisions. He's a great offensive rebounder too. Great on both ends on the glass, honestly. But he's such a smart cutter, and I think that great cutting instinct where, he is cutting back door, and if this player wasn't shooting the ball, he could probably hit Dash for a layup. Almost tips it right there, but he ends up kicking it out, and he's going to turn the ball over right there, or almost turn the ball over right there. And Dash, like we said, did hit a 3 in this game. The jumper is not pretty by any means, but it does go in right there. And I think the jumpers are looking better already. His first jumper in the first game was not pretty, but Dash ends up hitting that one. So just a pretty simple, good start for him. Definitely a good amount of garbage time production. This game was a blowout from the very beginning, but he was playing in the first quarter, second quarter, they were playing him throughout this game. And I think just the fact that he is already as impressive of a defensive player as he is at this age is the main reason of why I'm so high on him. I think defense is generally just undervalued in the draft, and Dash, while, lacks his brother's size, I think is just that level of incredible range and athleticism and movement. And this game, had some nice offensive flashes, and honestly, I would have kind of expected it to be more of a disaster. So, good starting point from Dash. Let me know what you thought of this video, and I hope you have a great day, and I appreciate all the support.